Well, hi, and welcome to Classroom Management. My name is Anthony Hadzimichalis, and I'm going to be talking with everybody today, specifically because where I live, school is going to begin in September. It's August 15th today. I'm sure a lot of educators are beginning to gear up here in the East Coast, but maybe in other parts of the country, they've already begun this process of professional development. So, we're going to talk about a hot topic, and that's classroom management. Specifically, we're going to get into the power of nurturing success behavior. We're going to talk about what is success behavior, how do we teach it, how do we assess it, how does it all tie in to our everyday curriculum, ultimately to make life easier for everybody and to promote the learning of the children that we serve. So, again, here it is, that time of year. We're going to kick it off together. A little bit about myself. So, after 20 years in education, as both a classroom teacher and as a building principal, I realized something. I realized that the core of classroom management is emotion. It is surrounded by so many other elements, but the core is feeling and emotion. So, with that said, I've decided to put together a series based on what really works for teachers titled The Power of Nurturing Success Behavior. So, thanks for tuning in. Our first topic is really a soul searcher, and it's a way for us to tune our own mindset as the basis for the many strategies that will be discussed. I'm going to break this slideshow into a series of maybe 4 or 5 manageable parts. And so this is the first one. We have to ask ourselves this question. Why do we do what we do? What is your motive for wanting to do this work? For really wanting to manage that classroom to the best of your ability, and again, for the purpose of increasing the learning, the development of the children that you serve? What's your internal drive? Well, personally for me, I'm here because I believe that emotion is at the core of this whole mystery or puzzle called classroom management. To get to that core, let's first explore your drive. All right, we're going to move on to the next slide. Let me just flip over to that one for you. And it's about your commitment and your level of caring. Think back for a second to your own school years. Who inspired you? Who cared about you? How did you know that? What did the classroom look like? What did the classroom feel like? What did it smell like? What was this inspirational person's overall demeanor? What was their voice tone, their body posture, their level of preparation, their own orientation toward goals? Was the person hopeful and optimistic? Were they aware of school-wide expectations? Hopefully they weren't easy to anger. Was this person curious by nature? Did they smile a lot? Well, what level of emphasis was on classroom expectations? Or for whatever reason in the last few years, the de-emphasis on classroom rules, and more importantly, what was their emphasis on a positive classroom culture? I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that might be considered enduring understandings, if you're familiar with the Understanding by Design framework, because they guide us towards our overall or our end result, our end goal. So what about this? Was chewing gum allowed in this classroom? Was cursing allowed in this classroom? Was pushing? Was leaving garbage behind? Was calling out okay? How about sitting anywhere? How were learning goals communicated to you? Was writing on school property all right? Were the activities well organized? How were the noisier students handled? How were you assessed? Were there hard or soft deadlines, or a little bit of both? How were you informed of your own progress? Was there group work? Were you required to focus? Where was the teacher physically located in the classroom? How did the teacher interact as part of their team with other teachers? Or what about with the principal or with parents and guardians? So these are great key questions that are going to kind of guide us along the way toward our ability to truly effectively manage just about any classroom that you could ever imagine. And that's going to be our goal for this series. All right, I'm going to take a break right here, right now, and we're going to stop the screencast and we're going to pick it up with the next section.